Welcome to NTK Summer 2 Club Race, where today things get a little bit more fortunate. We're starting in 7th place, and go follow the Instagram for more posts and updates. But we're going to go ahead and skip to that grid lap. As of editing this, I'm just now remembering that I've not posted my final for the DFW Triple Crown, so I'll get to that right after uploading this probably, so if there's a double upload, that's why. But coming around what's turn 7 here, we're just warming tires, and all of a sudden he turns around, flips sideways, and yeah, I'm not really sure how he did that, but it happened, and I'm just happy that I didn't get hit, is all I'll say, I guess, on that. So I guess that's one of the joys of racing, is that really anything can happen, including that. But we are turning on to the straight, entering turn 1, and we are ready to get racing. So we're waiting for that green flag. I'm on the left side, which means I'm on the inside line of turn 1, and we are looking for the green. Is it going to be green? It is green, green, green. We are racing. Okay, inside line takes that full throttle, essentially, going down as quick as possible to take advantage of that bowl, and I overtake one person in the process, putting me in P6 now. I return back to my racing line, just trying to keep up with them, and I do. I managed to get on the bumper of the person ahead of me. I forget what number it is. It looks like number 25, and we are going to be trying to work together where we can, but I'm also going to be trying to overtake. We're going to try and do this, but I hit my limiter a little bit early, so I'm not really able to do anything. So we just have the inside line there, essentially. So I'm just going to try and return to my racing line, because I did kind of mess it up there, returning to the center of the track instead of the outside, and rework my way into the fight. So here I am trying to see if I can defend my position, because I have no idea if anyone's behind me or not, and also carry as much momentum as physically possible to try and catch up to these people. I am carrying a lot more momentum here because the person ahead of 25 is going through turn 2, I want to call it, really slow, and that means that I can catch up to them faster. So that means that we also need to work together and get past him, because as you saw there, he's going over the chicanes, going into the dirt, which they did say they would be penalizing for, but later did not. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but it's whatever. I'm not sure where he finished, but yeah, it's okay. So me and 25 are now going to have to work together to try and get past him. It is essential that we do, because as you can see, the main pack is going way past us. We try and take the outside line here, they lose it, and I accidentally tap him because he tried to get back behind him. I did not read that properly. He takes the inside line, disrupts his line. I take the outside line, and I take the inside line for turn 3. A lot of things happening, sorry about that, but I kind of closed the door on him, just ensuring the position for myself through that chicane, and we are now past him and creating that massive gap on him. So now it is me and 25 together as a little tram line, if you will. We're going to see if we can get some draft out of him, but if we are if we are faster, there we go, then we're going to try and overtake him here soon. So we're just going to try and exit as quickly as possible, get some bumping going on here, get us a little bit closer while we can. And while we are behind him, we're also going to take this as an opportunity to try and see how fast he is out of certain corners, where we can try and overtake if possible, and see what's going on, scope out things, essentially. And we do see in turn 3 that I decide to take the lower line, cutting off more of the track, and that means that I have the better run on him here. And we make the pass here, putting us in P4 position, confirming the pass right here on this turn 7 turn there, returning to our racing line as fast as physically possible, and just trying to make something out of it to try and get up further in the spots. And at this point in the session, I was just absolutely rolling, so the fastest lap I had of the entire session was a 43.3 second lap time, which it's pretty quick for people that have not gone to NTK before, but now we are using that speed to our advantage, trying to cut off as much track as physically possible on all of the turns here, getting all of the apexes, and making sure we can carry as much momentum as possible as well. So we are going to be slowly catching these people here up front, because they're not setting that high of a lap time, and this would be the top 3 people ahead of me, as I'm P4, obviously. So I've skipped ahead quite a few laps of me just trying to basically catch up to the front pack, so now this is essentially make the move or lose the chance at this point. So as soon as I get up to her, I'm going to try and make the move as quick as possible. Sure, bump drafting could be a thing that we could try and do to get closer, but at this stage in the game, it's too late to really do that type of stuff. So it's going to be assess where you're faster and then overtake where you are faster. And as you can see here, I'm kind of catching her, or starting to, on the end of the straight, and that's because after the race she told me that she was on a really high gear. So that means that you have faster acceleration initially, theoretically, depending on motor, gear, etc., and but that trade-off is you have a lower top speed overall. So you hit your RPM limit faster, which you can kind of see that inside of that turn 3 entering the chicane section, where her acceleration takes the advantage there, but then the top speed disadvantage kicks back in right before that chicane, making me be able to catch up to her because I have that higher top speed and more speed being carried through that turn 3 turn. So we make this pass set and enter that 3rd position here, finally entering that podium. We are in a defensive line because if I wouldn't have, her acceleration would have just, overtaken us again. You saw her pulling off of us a little bit right before turn 1. That's probably because she's not braking, but instead it is just her gear simply not letting her go as fast as I am. So at this point in the race, we actually only have 5 laps to go, which means that the most important things to do right now is, 1, defend the position, because with 206 you don't have that much acceleration and you don't have that much top speed. So it's like, overall it's a turtle race in some people's eyes because of how fast other motorsports go, but that means that if you make a mistake, it lasts for longer. You can't recover from it as fast. So with that being said, if we want to make something happen, that's also not super likely, but it's something we're gonna try, because again, anything can happen in motorsports. So we're gonna see if we could do it here, because I'm not gonna tell you for retention. Yay, do we get the 2nd place? Do we not get the 2nd place in the 5 laps? I don't know. All I know is that we're going down the straight entering turn 7, and we're gaining on the person in P2. So at this point, if I have anything to say about it, I'm going to fight tooth and nail to try and get to that next position as quick as possible. And as for the fastest lap, it's actually happened on the lap where I overtook number 13. Sorry, no, apologies, that is the lap before overtaking 13, because by the time I had overtaken her, we had already been in P3, so that means the lap overtaking her, I was actually about 6/10 slower than my average lap time, which would make sense for overtaking someone. So as of this lap, we actually only have 2 to go, and we're entering the white flag lap, aka the last lap. So we're really just going to try and see anything that's physically possible here to make it happen. So we're going as close as we can to all of the apexes here, riding all of the curbs, trying to get as best of an exit as possible, accelerate through every turn, and make it to where we're just rolling through everything here. We're trying to get down on the bowl and do this within the last 2 laps that we have here. This is the 2nd to last lap here. So if anything's going to happen, it has to be literally right now. So he's kind of far away from us still, but we're just going to see if anything can happen here. Now, exiting 9 here, you're going to see him kind of start to slow down in a way. So it lets us catch him, because for a second, he thought that the white flag was the checkered flag. He told me this after the race. He was like, oh yeah, I was just driving one-handed, being all, chillaxed, I guess, and ready to pull into the pits, essentially. So now, in this moment, he's like, oh crap. I've just slowed down and let the competition get closer, and I'm like, oh yes, please let me overtake you. But I obviously at the point of racing, I didn't know this. I was just like, okay, he's getting closer to me, so I'm gonna try and do something if I can. But unfortunately, we don't have enough space. We try and gain as much time as possible on him, and it's the end of the race already. But this does secure us our first podium finish. P3 is our official finish of this race, and we pull into the pits excited as ever, because we have been fighting for a podium finish for a pretty long time, and this is first year racing at 18 years old now, and we are just gonna keep fighting for more.
Years. In third place, I have 8-0.
See you in 2 weeks.
Oh,
Here you go.
I don't know.
You're good.
First time.
First time on the podium. All right, second